Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Below Average Wild podcast. I'm Nick,
I'm Austin.
and welcome to the All-Star break. We are a little under halfway through the season. Wild are pulled it up on my phone so I can read it correctly. The Wild are 27, 17, and 4 going into the All-Star break. 58 points, 48 games played. The only two teams that are above us, Austin, are the Stars and the Jets. Stars have played 51 games and have 66 points, and Jets have played 52 games and have 65 points, so 7 and 8 points respectively.
Mm,
Austin, how do you think the second half of the season, or a little over the second half, shape up?
yeah, well, I think you see going into the second half of the season, the the Stars are on a three-game losing streak, so
Hmm.
something's gonna happen there. I think they'll keep up the winning. They'll get back to the winning column. However, I think for the Jets, I said it a couple podcasts ago, I do think they're gonna start to tumble a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, I just feel like it's in their nature. So I think we're gonna see the rise of the Avalanche. We're gonna see the rise of the defending champs, and they're gonna really pick up steam. But I think,
unfortunately.
unfortunately, yeah, yeah, that could be a whole episode in itself. But I think for the Wild, I'm predicting 94 points to end the season. So
94
ahead of
points. I like
Winnipeg.
that.
Yeah, ahead of Winnipeg. Ahead of Winnipeg. Um, but Winnipeg's actually just going to drop off, and then it'll be Dallas, Colorado, and then Minnesota.
So let me backtrack a little bit, and just to quickly put my prediction out there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be a little more optimistic there. 6 more points, we'll get an even 100 points with the rest of the season, with that many games to go. Playing a couple less games than the Stars and the Jets. But let me backtrack to the first half of the season.
Mhm.
Austin, I know you were recently on another podcast, the Locked On Wild podcast with Seth Tupal. If I'm
Yeah.
pronouncing his last name correctly, I'm sorry if I'm not. Where you both gave out first half of the season letter grades, and I
Yep.
won't make you go back to all of them, but if you want to just give a quick recap of the grades you gave out and where those grades might lead to that 94 points by the end of the season, leading into the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I won't dive in all of them because it'll take too long. But
Yeah.
before I start, I felt like I was cheating on you the entire time. So I apologize. Hope there's no hard feelings. I only
I'll get
cried for
over
like an
it
hour
eventually.
afterwards. Okay, perfect. No, the one thing I did want to mention was the offense. So obviously we're led by Kirill Kaprizov. That's a given. I think looking back, I think I gave them a B. But the problem is that if you look at last year, we were number 3 or 4 in the league for 5-on-5 goals, and now we are number 27 or 28 in the league on 5-on-5. So I think what's gonna, push us to the playoffs is the offense finally starting to click. So I I'll take my offensive score of B from Locked On Wild, and then I'll give them an A- to end the season.
A minus. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
And a great segue, as we were talking about right before we were recording. Will that A minus, to you at least, include any type of trade before the trade deadline to help our offensive power?
Yeah, I love Brock Besser. I do. I know I know that there's some difficulty right now trying to see the full picture with him being a member of the Wild. I don't think it's going to happen, but I it would be nice to see a trade where, maybe if it's Dumba Greenway and then a pick to Besser, and then he comes on the team, and then we can put him up with Boldy because Boldy's missing that buddy just like he had last year with Fiala because they had that type of chemistry that Kaprizov and Zook have. So
Right. Yeah, that's
um
exactly what I was going to say. That type of buddy buddy
mm,
chemistry. Uncle Kirill to Zook's
right,
to Zook's
right.
kids. That type of chemistry. That's exactly what we need. Yeah.
Right. But what are your thoughts? So, do you foresee okay, so what's your prediction for the second half? Like what do you see happening?
So, 100 points at the
Yep.
end of the season. leading into the playoffs. And I think either 94 or 100, I think we can both agree that's enough to get into the playoffs,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, but I'm kind of on the same boat. I think we will make some sort of trade that involves Dumba, and I
Mhm.
think that it'll uh bring back a high profile center
Okay.
um of some sort, whether that be the number one, a true number one center or not, I don't know. But
Hmm.
I think that either someone that can match skill level with Kaprizov and Zuccarello,
Okay.
or like you said, help our depth, help Boldy have that chemistry. Because
Hmm.
yeah, I mean chemistry I do take a lot into,
Hmm.
honestly, with any NHL team.
Right.
It's definitely a lot bigger um in my mind than necessarily like individual skill.
Right. No, that
Um
makes sense. And it's important. I mean, if you don't have chemistry on the line, then you're not gonna, the gears aren't gonna
yeah.
turn. And that's why I've always been such a fan. Although it hurts us Wild fans and the team, the fact or the move that Billy G did a couple years ago with the buyout of, Suter and Parisi.
Hmm.
I mean, you have, Dumba will be leaving soon, whether it's through a trade or in the offseason. He's done. This is his last year at the Wild jersey. But then you
Agreed.
have Spurgeon as the captain, Foligno, and you look on social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. They're they're doing Thanksgivings together, Halloween parties together. They're in Cabo
They're in
over
Cabo right
All-Star
now.
break.
I'm
So,
super jealous of that. Those pictures were
right.
just, no pun intended, those pictures are wild in the best way of such warm temperatures.
Right. And so you're right. I completely agree. Chemistry is a huge thing. And I think the Wild, specifically through our leadership, they've really brought that part that we've been missing for so long. So um I hope we do find something. It would be nice to get that, top center, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, whether it comes or not, we'll definitely see.
Hmm.
Um, well, we have a couple more days before our next game. Our next game is next Monday, as you informed me, because I do not keep tabs on the schedule as well as I should. But next Monday, against your Austin, your Arizona Coyotes, your home team, technically now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know.
Um,
Uh
yeah, what I guess we want that's as far away, so predictions might seem a little far away off, but
mhm,
yes, obviously the cliche is like you want to start off the second half of the season on the right foot,
mhm.
and Arizona in heavy contention for the Bedard sweepstakes.
Right.
Um,
They should just give up.
honestly, yeah, I
I
think
would.
that
What's
yeah,
they're competing with
Chicago, is it
freaking,
Chicago and or Anaheim?
yeah.
Is Chicago doing good now?
No, it's Chicago and Anaheim they're competing with. What's in the
Yeah.
Eastern? The Eastern, oh, they're fine. Um, yeah, so the Blackhawks have 34 points, Ducks have 37, Coyotes have 38, and then to the Eastern, the Blue Jackets have 34. So technically they're in it too, but
Yeah, I
um
think I agree with you though. The Coyotes really need to start tanking it if they want any chance at Bedard.
they really do. And I hope so, because I would be the first to buy a jersey. That'd be so amazing if we got him. But I actually just had a thought. So if Dumba leaves before the trade deadline,
Hmm.
Brock Faber is going to be up, most likely for a playoff run. So,
That would be sweet.
you know,
I
that
would,
would that would replace him. So
yeah, that'd
I
be a great yeah, that would be a wonderful replacement. Just right
mhm,
up there. If
right,
I don't want to say I don't want to because Kale McCarr is an anomaly for sure. Just
right.
coming right up and uh implementing his game right away. But
Mhm,
I do I feel like he might have a similar trajectory for just how good that he's playing with the Gophers right now.
right,
Would you agree with
right.
that?
No, I would. We have a really good next few seasons to look at. And again, I know it's going to be dark with the cap crunch and stuff, but
Mhm.
you dang well know that Guerin's gonna give Kaprizov all the money in the world to make him stay, and I think he will. But at that point, we're gonna be so much more relaxed with money, so we'll be able to, continue to build up the farm system and see how Iowa's playing great and their goalie. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now, but he'll be up.
Wallstead,
Either Wallstead,
Jesper.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, he'll be up. I don't think next year, but the year after, and he's going to be amazing, as we're already seeing. So,
I did want to bring that up really quick. You don't have to what's the word? You don't have to go into a long spiel about this, but uh I feel like no matter which goalie it is, at least the past couple years, obviously Fleury is Fleury, like future Hall of Famer, so he didn't need that much coaching in general. But I
right.
mean, Talbot was kind of so-so and then came
Mm-hmm.
to us and we made a playoff run, a short
Right.
playoff run, albeit. Um, but this year, I mean, our goalie coach with Fleury and I'm blanking on our other goalie's name at the moment.
Gustafson,
Gus Gus
Gustafson,
Gus
Gustafson, Gustafson.
Gustafson, yeah. I'm glad we can help each other. This is why this is below average.
Yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely. Get a good chuckle
but no,
in.
I believe, yeah, no, whoever our goalie coach is doing a fantastic job with these. I mean, at least from a casual fan's point of view, if they're coming to
Mm-hmm.
our team, the so or average goalies
Right.
um that have been turned into what above average or even great. And whether that
Right.
be the goalie coach, I guess, or Flurry himself, who's giving tips or tricks of the trade.
Well, I
Um,
think
I have to give them props. I was thinking about that the past few days.
right, and I think you make a good point. I think it's a little bit of both. Probably you have the veteran status, so it's kind of like
Mhm.
uh um sorry to upset anyone, but it's kind of like Brett Favre with Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers, he was a second string quarterback that just sat and watched him play. Jimmy for the Patriots, he sat behind Brady and watched him play, and he
Right.
made somewhat of a name for himself. And I think you do have to give a big nod though to the goalie coach. I mean, he's got to get a raise. So whatever they're doing, it's working. It's been working for the last several years, and hopefully they continue this type of play into the playoffs. Which I want to get your 2 cents on the playoffs. What
I
we've
don't think
talked about it.
I don't think Wild fans listening to this are gonna like my answer very much, but I do think we'll make the playoffs for sure.
Mhm.
Um, whether that be wild card, I guess with my 100 points, you think that they would be in the top three, but
Right.
but I mean it's a pretty competitive. It could very well be a very competitive Western Conference by the
Mhm.
end by the end of the season. But anyways, yeah, I don't think they'll go far in the playoffs, to be honest.
Don't think they'll make it past the first round, second round. What do you
I
think?
think they'll make it I don't think they'll make it past the first round,
Okay, I don't either.
unfortunately. What's your prediction?
I think in true Minnesota fashion or in true Minnesota sports fashion, they'll make the first round interesting. But
Yeah.
I don't see them making it past the first round. I've tried to, but I don't. I really don't. I don't. If our offense doesn't get our poop together and fix the 5-on-5 scoring, and even the power play, our PP1 is fantastic, but after that it's non-existing. So
No. And we can't expect our first power play line to do everything.
right,
We
right,
gotta have that
and
help.
right. So it'll be interesting. I think we will make the playoffs, but I don't see us getting past game 6. I would say game 6.
Game six? Oh,
Game 6.
I had us going to game seven, but
Uh, you know what? Let's do this. So you said 100 points. I said 94 points. This broadcast, if you are just joining us, is we actually got our first sponsor. It's sponsored by Nick and Austin's Wallets. So we're gonna do a little fun little bet here. So I think 94
I'm in.
points, 94 points, game 6 of the playoffs we lose for $20.
So anything else? just to be clear, anything else besides 94 points in game 6 in the first round of the playoffs, I get. So if they lose in 5 games, or do I have to make a specific? Because I'm going to say 100 points in 7 games, but they'll lose in the 7th game of the first round. So should
Okay.
we make
Yeah, how do
that
we
bet, or do I get the field? Because I would love the field, but I feel like it would be more even.
yeah, it's making more even. I wasn't thinking straight. You're the bet
Okay,
master. You take it.
okay.
I
So
was so
how about
excited. I just went
let's?
for it.
I mean, when you said bet, yeah, I just lost it. My mind went
I
everywhere.
haven't seen you smile like that in years, so
It's been since my 21st birthday. So
8 years
how about
ago.
this? For $20, um, you are going to bet 94 points at the end of the season and losing in game 6 of the first round.
Yep.
And I'm going to bet 100 points at the end of the season and losing in game 7 of the first round. And just to make it a little more interesting, because we can do those exact ones, but it's very unlikely that that's going to happen. So it would be a push. So how about whoever gets closer to both the point total? How about just the point total?
Perfect.
Because if it's like 95 or 96 points, obviously that would give you the win. And then
Mhm.
if you don't get the playoff part right, you still like 90s. I feel like and you can disagree with me. I feel like season points are a lot more interesting to bet
Right.
on
Okay.
compared because that's only 7 games to compare to exact points.
Right.
That's more of a win in my opinion.
Okay, let's do that. I'm down.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers. Cheers to that.
Cheers. I don't have my water with me, but
Don't worry, I got us.
thank you.
I can't even find the straw.
Deal. I'll give the metaphorical cheers, but yeah.
Right.
So
Um,
$20. All right. Let it be
20
known.
bucks. All right.
Friday, February 3rd, 7:50 as of this recording.
Yes.
7:50 Central. Sorry. 6:50
Yeah.
for
I don't even know what
Arizona
that
time.
means. I don't know what 750 Central means anymore.
What
Gosh.
yeah, maybe you should get in the right time zone.
Speaking of time zone, Tracy is flying in now for the
Yeah, you
time,
got like
our
9 minutes
time zone.
left. You gotta
I
go.
know. I know. I'm gonna end with 94 points for the Wild. I really hope something happens at the trade deadline. I am having a hard time seeing it, but 5-on-5 needs to improve.
Yep.
But that's my closer. What do you got?
Yep, I agree with that. I think a couple more points. I go with 100 points, like we've been saying. But no, I totally agree with 5-on-5, and I just hope that we just need that one big trade, and like I said, whether it's involving Dumba or not, that gives us that extra boost of offensive power. And I don't have any specific names as of this podcast, and we can get into it as we get closer to the deadline. But I just think that they need that extra boost if you want any chance of making a deep run in the playoffs.
Right. I think it's a good idea. Let's make a podcast, trade deadline prediction the day after the trade deadline, just to see how accurate we are. So we'll make our predictions the day after, and then
I'm down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, perfect. Most accurate podcast on the net.
I think
On the
that
net. Holy cow, I sound old.
wow. How old are you
27 going on like 60
on the net? Or do
on
you
the
still
net.
type www? You old
No, I
you?
do I do HTTPS colon backslash backslash www dot.
I hate you.
Yeah. Although I have to fix my dial up though, so I gotta go. But
Did I hear that? I thought I heard like a long beep in the background.
we live in the Stone Ages in the Lundin household. As my light just goes off. Sorry.
That's so perfect.
I love that. Okay.
All right.
Well, as always, Nick, it's a pleasure to see you. I get to see you in a couple weeks for Ant-Man, and it's gonna be a fun weekend in Phoenix. So
So excited. And so always so excited to see you, Austin. And so excited to everyone that listens to us and watches us on YouTube. So
yes.
appreciate it. Thank you. And
Yes.
we hope to see you next time. And as always, go wild.
Cheers to the Wild. Talk to you later, man.
Bye.